What's up, Z fanatics and newcomers? It's the Z Guru. Today's topic will be about Dragon Ball Z fusions and the different types of fusions. But before I go into this topic, I want to give a special shout out to one of my closest subscribers, KillMaze17, because he did an amazing job on my intro. If you guys are interested in DBZ and Naruto AMVs, then you gotta check his channel out to see more of his talented work. Link to his channels in the description bar, or you can click on the link in the video. Make sure you let him know that the Z Guru sent you. Now getting straight into it, fusions. What exactly is fusion? Well, I wouldn't be much of a guru if I couldn't tell you what a fusion is in the first place, right? So, fusion. Its definition in DBZ terms means the ability or process of physically merging two separate beings into one, combining their memories, attributes, strength, speed, reflexes, intellects, and wisdom. If correctly fused, the new single being created has an unbelievable level of power or ki that can result in combining both parties' power or ki, and maybe even speculate that it can be doubled or multiplied after the combined power of fusion. Yes, that's how beast this technique is. So far it has been shown that there is at least 4 different ways to fuse, and I'm going to definitely cover that for you today. So now I'm going to talk about the 4 different types of DBZ fusions. Namekian fusion, which is also the first fusion we have been introduced to in the anime and manga. This fusion is exclusively for Namekians. First, one Namekian places his hand on another Namekian, then his ki is then concentrated or raised, then the fusion begins to take place. The Namekians have the ability to choose which of the 2 bodies they want to use. The resulting warrior is much stronger than either warrior alone. If by chance the 2 warriors fusing were once one being and parted for whatever reason, hence Piccolo and Kami, the fusion becomes twice as powerful. Personally, I think this is by far the best fusion in the anime and manga of Dragon Ball Z overall. As far as restriction goes, unlimited fusing between the Namekians. It's not permanent. Vast increase in combined power, and there's no time limit. This fusion is definitely underrated. For all my followers who know what I'm talking about. Speaking of time limit, this brings me to my second fusion, which is Fusion Dance. The Fusion Dance is developed by an alien species called Metamorphs, which Goku learned in the other world. 2 warriors must sync their ki identically and must be similar in height. Then in order for the fusion to work, the 2 must perform a ballerina style dance and must identically mirror each other's movements. Any mistake in this dance will end up in a deformed fusion. While performing the dance, the 2 must yell Fusion Ha! If done properly, just like the Namekian fusion, the new fused being will be far stronger than if they were separable. However, after being fused, it only lasts 30 minutes. But as a Super Saiyan 3, in my opinion, they last about 15 to 20 minutes. I could be wrong, but nobody knows for sure. The fused fighters have combined features but are all completely different person. In my opinion, I think that Goten is the dominant and one in control of Gotenks, given the dominancy in the name and personality traits. Or fusion. This fusion can only be conducted by having a mystical Potara earring that only the Kais or Kaioshins possess. These Potara earrings are all worn by Kais or Kaioshin as part of their outfit. When one pair of the Potara earrings are worn by a single person, they have no special properties. However, if 2 individuals each wear one earring on opposite ear, the true power of the Potara fusion is revealed. Just like the fusion dance, the earrings have the ability to fuse 2 people into a single entity, enhancing the ability, strength, and of both individuals. The resulting fusion lasts forever, even after the fusion is completed and the fused being tries to remove the earrings, which makes me to believe that this is the worst fusion of them all. Too many negatives compared to the positive. Being fused forever, that sucks. Too situational. If the environment doesn't support it, then you cannot fuse. proof being that when Super Buu absorbed Vegeta, the fusion was instantly defused Vegeta and Goku and compared to Gotenks and their fusion dance. The only reason why they separated was due to time and not environmental restraints. In sequential order, when we was first introduced to this Potara fusion was with the Kaioshin from the 15th generation, and Old Kai and the Old Witch. The second time we seen it was Supreme Kai and Kibito, and they fused the earrings, not realizing that the fusion would be permanent. What a noobs. Something else to be noted about the Potara earrings is, for whatever reasons, people wishing to fuse don't necessarily have to be wearing earrings from the same set in order to do so. In both the anime and the manga, Kibito and Supreme Kai simply removed their left and right earrings respectively. They were drawn to each other and subsequently fused together. Despite Kibito's earring, which was blue in the anime, became the color of Supreme Kai's earring, which was yellow. The third Potara fusion was the most famous one, was between Carrot, aka Kakarot, aka Goku, fused with vegetable oil, Vegeta, to create the beast from the east, Vegito. Personally, I think Vegeta is the dominant personality in the Vegito fusion, given the dominancy in the name and the character traits. Which brings me to my last and final fusion, which is absorption. Absorption. Not really kind of a fusion, but it does take multiple beings and make them become one. Cell and Buu are the main people to absorb beings. First, I want to talk about Cell absorption technique because he had two different ways of accomplishing absorption. The first we're going to talk about is Cell's energy absorption. Cell is able to absorb energy or even entire beings through his tail, gaining all of the strength of the person he has absorbed. The tail will then extract all the organic matter of the victim, leaving the clothing behind. The process appears quite agonizing for the victim. According to Cell, this is how he feeds, as he often licks his lips after he consumes a large population or an android. He also states that the more he eats, the hungrier and stronger he becomes, which I personally think is cool. While this form of absorption is unusable on partially mechanical beings and is much less versatile in comparisons to Majin Buu's absorption technique, Cell absorption, stabbing the victim with his tail, is the only form of absorption used in the series that makes the victim completely unable to be freed, due to the victim being broken down into genetic material and then integrated directly into Cell's body. That's tough. During his confrontation with Piccolo, acid dripped from his stinger, indicating that absorption happens by injecting a digestive enzyme into the victim and absorbing the dissolving genetic extract. Cell has a second method of absorption in which he will absorb a body. The person will be held unconscious in Cell's body. This method was designed specifically for androids 17 and 18, who do not completely organic as they were before Dr. Gero, by absorbing one and both of the cyborgs. After Cell's self-destruction attack though, it was revealed that his cells had remembered the perfect form that he had achieved by absorbing 17 and 18, and even though he no longer had the androids inside of him, he was able to regenerate into his final super perfect form. The tail, like any part of his body, can also regenerate when removed, making it impossible for him to be deprived of absorption capabilities without him or his target being killed first. Wow. Now Majin Buu's absorption is unlike Cell's, who took in life essence through his tail. Buu can perform this technique with any part of the body, even a severed limb, or he can even simply liquefy his whole body and cover the victim with himself. When absorbing another being, Buu always takes qualities of their outward appearance as well. Usually the case of the dominant fighter he has absorbed, he will take on their clothing. In this case of the Z fighter, he was always donned with the garment of his strongest victim, Gotenks' vest, followed by Piccolo's cape, and followed the top of Gohan's martial arts uniform. He also gained their attacks like Piccolo's special beam cannon, Gotenks' galactic donut, and Super Ghost kamikaze attack in Gohan's Kamehameha. Kid Buu was the first one to use this against Southern Kai, Supreme Kai. and he later reused absorption against the Grand Supreme Kai. Personally, which fusion do I think is the best? I think personally I would have to say Namekian fusion first, Bull's absorption, then fusion dance, cell energy, and tail absorption, then Potara fusion. I know you guys are probably like saying, why do I have Potara fusion so low? But being fused with somebody forever, that's like marriage, yo. Like, I'm not sharing any of my wives with this guy that I'm fused for whatever. Like, no, that means honestly that we would have to be in the same beds with our wives, sharing wives. No way, it's not happening. So this is the Z Guru, and I definitely covered fusions in Dragon Ball Z. Hopefully I explained it well. If you guys didn't understand it, just probably replay it again. But hopefully I did do a good job explaining fusions, the different type of fusions of Dragon Ball Z. And like I said, don't forget to subscribe, comment, and let me know what you guys think is the best fusion to Z Furies and why. I'll definitely respond back. I've interacted with all my subs and followers, or just even people just passing by. Also check out my other videos of Dragon Ball Z. I have more and more controversial topics coming up. Stay tuned, subscribe, hit the like button if it was informative as well. And don't forget to check out KillMay17's channel if you're a fan of AMVs of Naruto and Dragon Ball Z, and let him know that the Z Guru sent you. This is the Z Guru, and I just explained fusions in Dragon Ball Z.